Well, welcome everybody, and I hope you're feeling well. And it's coming up for a long weekend, which is always exciting. And of course, you've had your May challenge to keep going with. And the May challenge is all about mindfulness. So you just have to start taking notice of moments when you're feeling scattered, stressed, or anxious. And just choose a daily activity like eating. So that was last week. Your challenge was thinking about mindful eating, or even washing the dishes. If you do that, brushing your teeth, something simple, a little task you do, and just do it mindfully. And take a few deep breaths and focus on the task that you're doing. So when your mind gets filled with thoughts, notice them and come back to stillness in your mind. There. So maybe you can get your mom to do it too. Anybody else in the house could do it. So that is your May challenge. And I hope all your little flowers are getting checked off or colored in. All right. So I am going to find my, here we are. How are you feeling today? That's a good way to start mindfulness. Just noticing how you are feeling. And it doesn't matter how you are feeling. You just notice and go, oh, that's how I'm feeling. So that's something else that you do, that we do every week. And I bet you didn't even realize you were practicing mindfulness. There we are. So, here we are. A prayer for May. May you be happy. May you stay healthy. May you feel safe. May you find comfort. May you sense peace. May you give love. May you possess courage. May you have faith. May you spread joy. May you be kind. There, a nice little saying, a little poem prayer for May. And remember this one because this is kind of what mindfulness is. And it's okay to cry when there's too much on your mind. The clouds rain too when things get heavy. So we were just talking about mindfulness. And so what is mindfulness? And here's a little, oh, you stay there. It's paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. So what does that really mean? Well, paying attention on purpose. Really notice how you are feeling. Really notice. And in the present moment, well, just slow down and focus on what's happening right now. Do you remember we once kept saying, be where your feet are? Well, that's another way of saying being in the present moment. Just slow down and focus on what is happening right now. Just be where your feet are. And non-judgmentally. Just notice your thoughts, good or bad, and then just get on with life. And if you're sad, then cry. And if you are happy, then laugh. And it's okay to have all those emotions. Mindfulness. Oh, here's another way of practicing mindfulness. Just stop, listen. What do you hear? So if you just stop for a moment, you could close your eyes if you want to and just listen for the sounds around you. Just listen for faraway sounds, listen for nearby sounds, and sounds right beside you or inside you. Wow, we've done that before. So all these things are not new. Just sounds complicated. It's like, oh, I'm learning something else. But no, you know all these things. Okay, now what the lost some of it up here. Happiness is letting go of what you think your life is supposed to look like and celebrating it for everything that it is. That's another way of thinking about mindfulness, isn't it? So it's like just being in the present moment. Just think about let go of what you think life is supposed to look like. So, um, just being in the present moment, non-judgmental, right? So, mindful breath. I sent you this one. Mindful breath. Seems like we have a breath for everything, don't we? So, mindful breath. I sent you this. And tells you just practice mindful breathing by simply taking a few moments to breathe deeply. You can place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your chest if you feel that's what you want to do. And inhale for 4 counts and then exhale through your nose for 4 counts. Feel the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. So should we do that? So we're going to breathe in through your nose for 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. So breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, and out 2, 3, 4. Do you feel the air filling your body, filling your chest, filling? Doesn't really fill your belly, but all the muscles that you use to breathe and fill your lungs with air makes your belly move. That's what's happening there. So you don't get air into your belly. Should we do that again? Here we go. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Such a simple thing, so easy to do. But if you just stop and do it, it will just calm you down. And then after you've maybe done that little mindful breath, you could just sit and listen for the sounds around you. Here we go. Now we will do a meditation. And that's always good, just to stop and take a moment to think positive thoughts. Here we go. We will watch the lovely blossoms if you want to, or you can close your eyes, listen to the music. But just take a moment to come to stillness. Just ignore any distractions. Just commit yourself to right now. Just start to lengthen and slow down your breath. Just breathe and relax. Let go of any tension. Just soften your face and soften your shoulders. Just let it go of the day. Let go of whatever happened today. Just focus on this moment. Just be here in this moment. Let's just think about feeling good. First, think about who makes you feel good. And bring to mind the people in your life who you feel good around. Put a smile on your face and think of people who light you up. Think about who are the people who are special to you. Just take a few slow breaths. Now think about what makes you feel good. Just bring to mind any things that make you feel good. It might be a certain food, something you do, or wearing special clothes. Think of what fills you up. Take a few long, slow breaths. And next, think about where makes you feel good. Bring to mind the places that make you feel good. Take yourself to those places. The places that might be near or far. Just imagine that you are there. Just take a few long, slow breaths. And then think about when you feel good. Just bring to mind the times when you feel good. Think about what is happening in those moments. Notice when you are energized or when you are in the zone. Take a few long, slow breaths and allow these feel-good vibes to wash over you. Those are all positive, happy thoughts. Maybe feeling good, you can spread that feel-good vibes with others. And hopefully you can remember these feelings and feel this way tomorrow and every day. Here we go. So here we are every week. We think of these things, letting go. And being patient with yourself and with others. And of course, accepting who you are and accept other people. So remember, these things are like being patient and accepting. That's like non-judgmental, isn't it? And letting go is being in the present moment. So you let go of things that make you feel bad. Being patient, accepting is non-judgmental. And of course, we always have gratitude, which is also part of mindfulness, being grateful. So here we are. I have an empty basket. So, Claire, there we are. Can you take a moment to think of something you are grateful for? And Megan. That basket is not empty anymore. Jennifer. There it goes. And Sarah, this one's for you. And Kathy is here. So there. Now I have gratitude stones in my basket, which is always a lovely part of the time I spend with you is to take a moment and be grateful. I'm always grateful every week when you come and join me. So we're talking about mindfulness. There's all sorts of ways we can look at it. And here's a very sweet little, it's just like a very, very, very short story. It's called The Journey Home. And there we have a picture of a girl, a cat, and a big bag. I'll just put you up there just so we can read what it says. So this little story goes, "What's in the bag?" asked the cat. "It looks really heavy." "Oh, lots of things," sighed the little girl. "My fears, my worries, my hurts and mistakes." "But the past has gone and tomorrow's a new day," replied the cat. "It's time to put the bag down and leave it behind." So that's really a nice little way, a nice little story of telling us about mindfulness. I'll read it again because it's really, really, really helps us to understand what we should do. That will help us to understand mindfulness. So, "What's in the bag?" asked the little cat. "It looks really heavy." "Oh, lots of things," sighed the little girl. "My fears, my worries, my hurts and mistakes." "But the past has gone and tomorrow's a new day," replied the cat. "It's time to put the bag down and leave it behind." What kind of mindfulness is that bag that you put down and leave all your fears, worries, hurts, and mistakes? Just leave it behind in that bag. That bag can be very heavy to carry around. There. I thought that was lovely when I saw it. So I have to share it with you. And I have something else to share with you. I have a new book. Ooh, a new book. Very exciting. So it's called When Things Aren't Going Right, Go Left. And it's artwork by Peter Reynolds, who we know, but words by Mark Colagiovanni. So let me show you this new book. Here we go. When things aren't going right, go left. It's kind of funny, isn't it? Okay, here we go. One day, for no particular reason, nothing was going right. Absolutely, positively nothing was going right. You had one of those days? So I decided to go left. The first thing I did, I left behind my worries. Yep, I left them right there on the ground. They looked up at me and wondered, "Where are you going?" But I just smiled and waved goodbye. "Wait," they hollered, "come back. What will happen to us?" I simply shrugged my shoulders. "You'll be fine." As I walked away, I thought, oh, did I make the right choice? Should I go back and get them? Doubts crept in. So you know what I did? I left my doubts. Yep, I left them right there on the ground. They bellowed, "You're making a mistake." but I just gazed at the sky. They questioned, "Are you sure you're making the right decision?" "Absolutely," I declared. With my worries and my doubts left behind, I could finally think clearly. I forged on until I came to a pool and a diving board I remembered all too well. The last time I tried to dive off that diving board, I splattered on my back. Ouch! So you know what I did? Oops. Let me just see. Okay, I remembered the pain. Maybe I shouldn't try this again. So you know what I did? I left my fears. Yep, I left them right there on the ground. They screamed, "Don't do it!" I stood up straight, hands pressed above my head. "Stop!" they cried, but I simply turned and gave them a wink. I leaped, splat, on my back again. Oof, that stings. I thought to myself, this is impossible. It can't be done. So you know what I did? I left my frustrations. Yep, I left them right there on the ground. They yelled, "You can't do it!" Again, I stood up straight, shoulders back, hands pressed above my head. They laughed. "Give up already!" I whispered to myself, "No way, never." I leaped, feet together, toes pointed, legs straight. Perfect! I did it! I started to realize the more left I went, the more right I felt. So you know what I did? Yep, I kept going left. And before I knew it, everything was going right. As I walked home, I glanced at the ground, and I noticed something that I did not expect. My frustrations were a lot smaller, my fears a lot quieter, my doubts a lot calmer, my worries practically gone. So I decided to pick them back up. And you know what? They felt lighter now, and they weren't so hard to handle anymore. And I realized it was okay to have them with me as long as I kept an eye on them and made sure they didn't get too big or too loud or too overwhelming. But if they did, and I felt like nothing was going right again, then I'd simply go left. When life's burdens start to feel too heavy, don't be afraid to put them down for a while. And that's from the author, Mark. And here, this was in the cover of the book. So here we have things that were all could make you frustrated. Frustrations, fears, worries. Well, it could, all these things would make your day not go right, right? So when that happens, you just go left and you leave them all behind. You just like that little girl with the big bag, just put the bag down and leave them behind. And the book is very good. It plays on the word. When nothing goes right, well, you just go left. You just find another way. You leave all those worries, fears, frustrations, doubts behind. So, of course, all these things we say is mindfulness, but when we talk about yoga and all practice yoga, we're kind of practicing mindfulness all the time. Everything's kind of all muddled in together, isn't it? The breathing, it's the positive thinking, the gratitude. We do that all the time. And if we just do that all the time, which is called yoga, then we'll always feel a lot better. And we will get, as Claire says, fixed. Right, Claire? So all these things can fix us. All right, let's start doing some movement. So here we go. Just take a moment to sit a little taller. Take a few deep breaths. Hand on your heart, hand on your belly. Notice how you're feeling. And we'll just start moving a little slow with our cat and cow, sliding our hands backwards and forwards, curling our spine forward, and then opening up our heart to the world as we look up. Making the spine move backwards and forwards. Then this time we're going to try something a little different. We're just going to put our arm up, and then breathe in and get a little taller, a little taller, a little taller, and to the side, and then we're going to reach over. And then we're going to come up, hands going to go down, and then we're going to take a breath in, and this arm's going to come up. And we're going to reach a little taller, little taller, little taller, and then another breath in. Just go. And the arm can come down, and then the other arm's going to come up as we breathe in. Breathe in. Take a moment here. Breathe and reach, 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 and then over and up, down. This arm again up. Just hold it there. Reach up, reach up, reach up, and then over, and then back. Then back to our cat and cow. Which you know you can do. Nice and slowly. No, we're going to just stop. We're going to reach up again. As tall as we can go. Reaching, reaching, reaching. And then one hand on our knee, one hand behind. We have a nice tall spine and look over our shoulder. And then up and over. And up. Then stop here. And make sure you turn. And then you can drop those hands down. Lift those arms up. And then turn again. Turn. And hands go down. Nice tall spine. Sitting nice and tall. And then bring those arms up. Reaching up, reaching up, reaching up. And then take a long, deep breath out. Let the arms come down. Hands onto our knees. Cat and cow again. And just stop. Sit nice and tall. Bring our feet together. Sit nice and tall in our butterfly pose. Bring your feet close to your body if you can. Nice tall, tall, tall spine. Just let the knees fall down to the ground. You can bring the knees up. Straighten the legs. Give those legs a little shake. And we'll get onto our tabletop position. So onto our hands and our knees. Move cushions, blocks out of the way. Now we're into our tabletop. Now knees are under our hips and hands are under our shoulders. And we'll start doing our big circles with our hips. Big circles. And then go the other way. You know what this does? We have a big muscle right at the base of our spine. And if that gets all stiff and old and we don't stretch it like this, that's what makes us feel old and stiff. Just keep going with those hip circles, going one way, then the other. And then the other. And then just stop for a moment. Let the hips go down onto the heels. And then reach out in front. So now we're in extended child's pose. So knees are together and arms are straight. Just stretching, stretching, stretching. Just feel the nice stretch. I'm just going to lean forward. Just rock forward. Then your shoulders are over your hands. You want your hands and your knees, but you're in a plank position. Just push yourself back into that extended child's pose. So the arms are straight. Your hips are down. Then just rock forward. Your shoulders are over your hands. Your arms might be a little wobbly. Just starting to warm up. That's okay. And push yourself back. Have a nice stretch. Rock forward. In that plank. Hold your arms are getting nice and strong. Shoulders are getting strong. Push yourself back. Nice stretch in the back. Stretch the arms. Walk forward. And just come back to the extended child's pose. And bring your hands forward so you can open up those knees. Keep the big toes together. And we'll go into our deep, deep, wide-legged child's pose. And now your head is down, your arms are down, your knees are wide apart, big toes together. You just melt into your child's pose. Get some nice slow deep breaths here. And push yourself up. Those knees together. Now we're going to get ready to do our downward facing dog. So your hands are on the mat or on blocks. Curl your toes under. Push with your hands into the mat. Straighten your legs, straighten your arms. Straighten those legs. Feel the stretch all the way from the heel up to the tops of your legs. The arms are straight. And then just walk those feet forward. Then have a forward bend so you're touching the mat with your fingertips. The knees can be bent, that's okay. Heads down. Sweep those arms up, lift them slowly. Reach up high and bring your hands to heart center. We have our hands at heart center and we're standing with our feet firmly on the mat. Could lift and spread those toes. Put those toes back down so that you feel you're nice and steady. Here we're going to do our sun salutation. So we're going to sweep our arms up, bring our hands to heart center, sweep our hands up, and bend at the hips. Touch the mat with our heads down. Then touch our knees with a flat back. Touch the mat with your heads down. Sweep the hands up. Bring your hands to heart center. And sweep the hands up. Bend at the hips. Touch the mat, head down. Touch your knees with a flat back. Touch the mat, head down. Sweep those hands up. Bring your hands to heart center. And then up again. Sweeping down to the mat. Head down. Lift your hands to your knees with a flat back. And hands down, head down. Sweep the hands up. Bring your hands to heart center. Perfect. Let's put your hands down. Right foot forward, left foot back. Now, bring the tummy muscles in. So you're standing nice and tall. That knee's bent at the front. You can see those front toes. Very important. You can see the front toes. And the back toes are pointing the long end of the mat. And just bring those arms up. Look at the front toe fingers. Strong arms and strong legs. Ooh. Warrior two. And just rest your arm. Bring the arm over. So your arm's next to your ear. Reach, reach, reach. Reach more. And then sweep back into warrior two. Back hand goes down, front hand comes up. Now we're in peaceful warrior. Bring it way up high. Back to warrior two. Arms come down and point the toes the same way. Bend at the hips, down to the mat. Walk your hands past a foot. So you got a bent knee and the leg that's left behind gets a nice stretch. And then you go the other way, so bend the knee and stretch the leg. Walk your hands to the other foot, bend the knee, stretch the leg. Walk those hands to the other side, bend that knee, stretch that leg. Come to center, fingertips on the mat, head is down, and hands onto your ankles. Roll your hands up your legs, and then reach up high, you're a star. Bring your hands down. Face the other way now. So now the left foot is facing the short end of the mat. Bend the left knee. Right leg is back, and the right toes are pointing to the long end of the mat. Bring those arms up. Turn and face those fingers at the front. There your legs are strong and your arms are strong. Make sure you can see those front toes, even though that knee's bent. Now let's just have a little rest on the front leg. Bring that back arm up over your ear, keeping the shoulder up high, and reach, 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 reach. And then we'll come back, sweep back into warrior two. And back hand goes down, front hand comes up. Now we're in peaceful warrior. Hands come down. Warrior two, strong legs, strong arms. The arms come down. Toes face the same way. We're going to bend at the hips. Touch the mat. And then start walking your hands across one foot so your leg is stretched out behind and the knee is bent. Walk the hands the other way, bent knee, stretch the leg. Walk the hands the other way, bent knee, stretch the leg. Come to the center, fingertips on the mat, then hands onto your ankles. Slowly roll up, roll up. This time we're going to bend our knees, keep our tummies in, tailbones down. So like you're sitting in a chair, you're in goddess pose. There, good job. Really make your legs work. Push up, arms can come down. Walk those legs together. You can give them a little shake. You can put your hands just on your waist. Just look up nice and gently. Take some deep breaths. Just a very gentle look up to the ceiling. Whew. Just come back to standing. Stand nice and tall and still. This is mountain pose. So your ankles are under your knees and your knees are under your hips. Hips are under the shoulders. Shoulders are just soft. Palm is facing forward. Notice the jaw. Oh, take away all the tension. Maybe do a yawn. Stand nice and still in mountain pose. We're going to get back onto our mats. So we're going to go back into our downward facing dog. So hands onto the mat or on the blocks, feet go back, and stretch the legs and stretch the arms. Downward facing dog. From here, just let the knees go down. And we go into child's pose. So open up those knees. Big toes together. The knees are apart. Big toes together. Hips go down. Head goes down. We're in child's pose. We have a little rest after all that hard work you were doing. Good. Just slow deep breath here. Just slowly push yourself up. Back into tabletop. So now hands are under the shoulders and knees are under the hips. Take a moment here to drop the hips, stretch out again. We're in extended child's pose now. Feel the stretch in your back and stretch in your arms. Just move away blocks, anything else that's there. Just come onto your back, onto your back. Cushion for your head. That feels good. The knees are up, feet are on the mat, hands are on the mat. Push those hips up into bridge pose. Lift those hips. Just let those hips go down nice and slowly. A little rest. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in as you lift the hips up again, pushing into the mat with your feet and your hands. Fold those hips up. And then slowly place your hips back down. Have a nice little rest there. Just give the base of your spine nice support with the floor. That always feels good. Bring the knees up. Give them a hug. Roll from side to side. And then just keep the knees together. The feet back on the ground. Straighten the legs. Straighten those legs. Toes up to the sky. And bend one knee and slowly slide the foot up. Straight leg. And let the knee fall to the ground. Just rest those arms, palms facing up. Rest that knee on the ground. Foot's next to your leg. Recline tree pose. Slow deep breath. Straighten that leg. Just take a moment to straighten both legs. Point the toes up to the sky. And then bend the other knee. Slide the other foot up the straight leg. Letting that knee fall to the ground. Again, just let the palms face up. Straighten that leg, and again, take a moment just to straighten the leg. Push the heels away, point the toes to the sky. And place both feet on the mat. Just for a moment. Again, just enjoy the floor supporting the base of your spine. And bring the knees up. Give them a hug. Roll from side to side. Both feet down. And from here, you're going to get into your Shavasana. Get yourself comfortable. Just close your eyes. Just let your legs, your arms, your body. Just let them all become soft. Your hips and your chest, your tongue, all be just relax, become soft. Just think of yourself being relaxed and happy. If any of those worries or frustrations or doubts creep into your head, just think about that cat who tells you to put the bag down, the bag that's carrying all those worries and frustrations. Just put the bag down, leave it behind. And just slowly start to wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. Roll over to one side and then push yourself up nice and slowly and come up to seated. And from here, we can do sa.
Not
Peace is in
Yes,
is in me. Peace is in
me.
peace is in. Just put one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Notice how you're feeling. Notice if you're carrying a heavy bag that needs to be put down and left behind. Hopefully not now you don't feel that way, but remember tomorrow, if you start to feel that way, feel like you have a carrying a heavy bag, just put it down,
Yes, in me.
put it down, leave it behind, right? So start sharing our loving kindness with each other.
Hi. No, with your eyes. Do your nose. Not with your lips. I love in my heart to show our love.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Claire.
Yep.
Always have those little yoga moves. Really makes you feel happy inside, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Sure does.
You have delight in me.
So thank you for coming tonight and joining me.
See you next Thursday, guys.
Have a
Because there's
lovely weekend. It's
okay. Bye.
a long weekend for you. Bye.
Bye. See ya. Is the yoga on Thursday?
Yes, there is. Bye.
Even for Victoria Day.
Sorry?
Even Victoria Day.
Well, Victoria Day's Monday. It's the weekend, the Victoria Day weekend. So yoga will be when it's all over next week on Thursday. Okay?
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Have fun.